Sis, can you believe me that I have zero foundation on? You better believe it. Today I created a no foundation makeup routine, and this is perfect for those of you who don't even have foundation or who are scared to put foundation on. This is going to give you a full coverage makeup look that looks like you're wearing foundation, but you're not. So if you're interested, just continue to watch. All right, sis, so let's get into this video. As you guys know, we're doing a no foundation makeup routine. Now, I feel like no foundation makeup routines are good for those quick and out the door makeup looks. If you're someone who likes to look like you did a full face but want to skip the foundation, this makeup look is for you. So we're ditching the foundation today and we're opting for less cream products as well. So this is kind of like a no foundation, powder foundation type of makeup look. So let's get into it. So as you guys know, we always have to start off with moisturizing the skin. So I've already done my skincare prep and just moisturized my skin. I did use the Merit Beauty Great Skin Priming Moisturizer. And I love this moisturizer because I love that it just really moisturizes the skin and just sets my skin for greatness. Like, it sets up the skin for makeup application. It acts as a primer as well. Today, I think I'm going to go in with an extra primer just to have that reassurance for myself. I do want to go in with a mattifying primer. So for today, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Prime Lab 24-hour matte setter primer. This is just going to help grip the makeup and just reduce the overall shine and oiliness on the skin. I myself get really oily in my T-zone, so this primer really helps to minimize that extra shine that tends to peep out of my pores, especially in my T-zone. Because I did use the Merit Beauty moisturizer and primer all over my face, I'm going to focus this primer in my T-zone. And you could instantly feel that grip, so we love that. All right, so since we're not using any foundation, we need to act as if we are. So we need to create a clean base, which is what a foundation would originally do. So if you're someone who suffers with dark marks, acne marks, anything on the skin that you want to conceal, you want to go in with a flesh tone concealer. So this is a concealer that is your perfect match. This is just going to create that even base before you go in with the rest of your products. So that's what we would call spot correcting, which is looking on our face on the areas that we feel we need that extra coverage, whether it be darkness around the mouth, spots on the forehead, anything of that sort. So today I'm going to be using my L'Oreal True Match Radiant Serum Concealer. This is in the shade N10 Deep, and I'm going to use this just to do a bit of spot correcting. So with spot correcting, I like to focus it in, honestly, areas that you guys are probably looking at me like, girl, what spots are you correcting? Like, honestly, I could see it myself. I have like an acne scar right here, which I'm definitely going to conceal. And around my mouth, I do have a bit of hyperpigmentation. My little whiskers are growing back as well, so I do want to conceal that. And then on my forehead, just little areas on the skin. I also like to conceal underneath my eyes as well. So all those places we're going to focus this concealer. And you don't need to go in with too much product. A little goes a long way, especially because we're going to be blending out with a brush. A brush will allow you to keep that coverage on your skin rather than using a damp beauty sponge. So just like that, I'm honestly looking on all the areas on my face that need that extra correction. So just like that, that's all the concealer we're going to use to really just give us a really nice even canvas. So I'm going to be using my e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush, and we're going to just blend this out. And before blending out, you could also wait about 1 to 2 minutes just to get the full coverage of that concealer, especially if you have a little bit more darker marks than I do. So if you want that extra coverage, I would suggest waiting about 1 to 2 minutes before blending out. So it's crucial to find a concealer that is your exact match. You don't want to use something that is 1 shade or even 2 shades lighter. It's just not going to give you that really even canvas. All right, so just like that, we created a really even canvas for our skin. Lightweight, honestly feels like I have nothing on my skin, which is the goal. So we have one more cream product to use for this makeup look, and that is another concealer. So with this concealer, you want to grab something that is 2 to 3 shades lighter than the concealer that you just used to spot correct. This is going to act as your highlight, bring back some light and dimension to the skin. Whenever you give your skin skin an even look, your face lacks dimension. You look more alive and awake when you do the highlighting. So go in with a concealer that is 2 to 3 shades lighter. I am going to be using my Black Radiance True Complexion Concealer. This is in the shade light to medium. And just like we did with the spot correcting, we're going to use a little bit of products. We don't need to go in with a lot of this product on our skin. So all we can do is just apply it to all of the areas that we normally highlight. So that's underneath my eyes. And I like to, you guys know, work in sections. So we're going to work underneath the eyes first. So I just like to put just a little bit like that. And then grabbing my same concealer brush by e.l.f., we're going to blend this out. So you guys know, blend out the edges first and then work your way in. I just find that it's easier to blend out that way. And then you could also connect everything else. If you're one of those girlies on a day when maybe you forgot your foundation and you're on a trip, this is a makeup look that will come in handy to give you that full coverage look while using less product. And you could always build the coverage. Like I do want to build a bit more of the coverage underneath my eyes, but just in the inner corners here. So I'm going to add a little bit. And also I'm going to add some to my eyelids. So if you're someone who suffers with dark eyelids, going in with this concealer on your eyelids will help to just conceal and bring it to one even skin tone. All right, so just like that we did underneath our eyes. So I'm just gonna apply a bit on the forehead, down the bridge of my nose, my cupid's bow, and my chin. And you guys could see how little of product I applied. And we're just going to blend that out. You see how that concealer just gave me a brighter look to the skin? This is exactly what I mean when I say that when you apply like a foundation or like a concealer that is your skin tone, you're gonna look really flat and kind of lifeless. So bringing back that light to your skin with a concealer that is 2 to 3 shades lighter really makes all the difference. Now, because we didn't go in with any foundation, we don't have our, our foundation brush to go over the harsh lines and whatnot. So that's where really blending out the edges comes in. So with your concealer brush, just make sure that the edges of all the areas you applied that concealer is really blended out so that you don't see that harsh line. Everything just needs to look blended. All right, so just like that, we have our base. If you ask me, my base is looking really flawless. It honestly looks like I did apply foundation, but we didn't. So we're gonna move on to the eyebrows. So eyebrows, again, is very personal to everybody. Whatever you have to do for your eyebrows, I would suggest doing now, whether it's using brow gel, filling your brows in with a brow pencil, powder, whatever the case is, you can do it at this point. So today I am going to be using a eyebrow pencil. This is by Ebin, New York. This is their precision brow pencil in the shade, I believe, dark brown. I may have sharpened off the shade, but this is like a dark brown shade. All right, and then with this, all I'm doing is creating just short brow strokes to mimic the look of brow hairs in just all the areas that I have like that sparse area that no hair wants to grow out of. Just creating like a really full looking brow. And then I'm going to use the spoolie end to kind of disperse that product. Just like that. I honestly don't need to do much to my brows. So, all right, so just like that, we filled in the brows. We're gonna use that concealer one more time. So we're gonna take the Black Radiance concealer, and then to clean it up, I'm gonna take my e.l.f. concealer brush. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of the concealer onto this brush, and it's flat. This is what's going to help me shape my brows. I feel like shaping the brows really kind of gives a cleaner look. So this is just something I personally like to do. It's definitely optional. So we're just going to use this to sharpen and clean the brow. And then I'm gonna take the concealer, Flawless Concealer Blending Brush by e.l.f. and blend this out. And you guys could see the difference between both sides. My brows look really lifted and brightened on this side, whereas this side, it's nice, but it just needs that little bit of cleanup. And then you just want to make sure that, your eyelids is blended as well. Under your eyes, no creasing, because at this point we can now go in with powders to set everything in place. So just go over everywhere you applied concealer if it needs that extra blending out. All right, so at this point we have an even base. We highlighted, we really brought the skin to like a really nice even makeup look. So now we can set. You guys know that we always have to set our creams and liquids with powder, and at this point we are ready to go in with some powder. So today I'm going to be using the Black Radiance True Complexion Loose Setting Powder. This is like my favorite powder, and this is just going to set everywhere that we use that concealer. So we're going to use this to set. And I am gonna go in with my Wander Beauty Sponge Ornament Set. Love this. So it does come with 2 beauty blenders and 2 velour puffs. So I'm gonna take one of the velour puffs. And I did get this set a part of my FabFitFun winter box. So I'll leave in the description box below my code and everything for you guys to check out FabFitFun. They have amazing picks for the winter box, and this is one of them. So I'll leave my link in the description box below so you guys could check that out. I do have a coupon code for your winter box as well. So if you're interested in some makeup goodies and things like that, you can definitely check out that link. All right, so I'm gonna dip into this powder just like that. And then I'm just going to take a bit of that off on the back of my hand and then just use this to set my under eye. And I didn't show you guys, but I did make sure to blend out my concealer and the creasing underneath my eyes before going in with that powder. So just like that, right before I go in with that powder, I just like to blend out and then set. And this powder gives a really nice blurring effect. If you're someone who deals with like wrinkles or fine lines and things like that, you will love this powder. This powder will give you a nice even blurred, it looks like your skin is like butter when I use this. Every time I use this, my skin looks like butter. So if you're looking for a new setting powder, Black Radiance. So I'm just going to use this on all the other areas as well. I like to put some over my smile line. And then we can't forget our eyelids as well. All right, and just like that, we've mattified the skin. The skin looks flawless, smooth, almost like I put foundation on and I didn't. All right, so I want to bring back some contour, some shadows to my skin. We didn't do any cream contour or anything like that. I didn't even do blush, liquid blush. We skipped all that. So I do want to warm back up my skin. So I am going to use the NYX Buttermilk Bronzer. And this is like my second time using this. I really like this product. I love that it has that nice warm undertone because that really warms up the skin. So I did get mine in the shade Butter Than You. So I am going to go in with my Menage powder brush. I'm going to use this to warm up the skin, and this is pigmented, so please dust off the excess. So just going to add a bit of this to warm up the skin. It's really red, but I could see that it's definitely giving me like a nice bronzy finish. If I were to give like an honest feedback on this, is dip into your powder with like once, and you could use that to honestly bronze your whole face because this is really pigmented. It's almost like a really nice red blush as well, to be honest. I might have to try the one that's under this one to see how it goes, but I'm not mad at it. It looks really nice. And then I'm gonna take my smaller angled brush. You guys have seen this in all my videos. This is the only brush I use to do my nose contour. So I'm gonna dip into that just a little bit. Don't want a heavy contour, and we're just going to lightly contour the nose as well. Usually bring my nose contour up into my brows. It just kind of gives a more natural look to me, at least. So heads up with this bronzer. A little goes a long way. I'm gonna go back over my bronzer with my velour puff. I feel like doing this is like a staple in my makeup routine now, honestly, because it just gives like a nice muted down blended look after I do it. Whether it's with cream products, my blush, whatever it is, I like to just go back in with my velour puff to just make sure everything is blended. And all I'm doing is tapping this over all the areas. Okay, so just like that, we have our base finished. We did our brows. Now everything is kind of optional. I'm gonna do something really simple today. I'm not gonna do much on the eyes. Actually, I think I wanna add a bit of that bronzer to the eyes. So I'm gonna go in with my e.l.f. eyeshadow blending brush, and I'm gonna dip into this buttermilk bronzer one more time. Again, we're just taking a little bit, dusting off the excess, and I'm just gonna apply this in my creases and just warm up the eyes as well. Give a little bit of dimension. I'm gonna add a bit on the eyelids as well. Kind of like a brown smoky eye at this point. All right, so the eyes, we did a little bit of something on the eyes. I am gonna add some lashes. So I do have my Ardell Wispy lashes. These are the only lashes I honestly use in my makeup tutorials. So if you guys are ever wondering what lashes I'm using, it's my Ardell Wispies. I get so many compliments on these lashes in real life. People ask me which ones I'm using. It just complements my specific eye shape. So I'm going to quickly pop these on. I'm going to be going in with my e.l.f. No Budge Retractable Eyeliner Pencil and just apply this to my waterline. And then I'm going to go in with my L'Oreal Telescopic Lift Mascara. Apply some to my bottom lashes. You see how these lashes just kind of brought the look together? Honestly, my favorite lashes, and they're not doing the most, they're just doing enough. All right, so we're pretty much done. We can move on to the lips. I am going to line my lips with the Palladio eyeliner pencil. This is in the shade dark brown. And like I said, this is an eyeliner pencil, but I really love this. I love using this as a lip liner. So we're gonna use this to line the lips. All right, and then lipstick of choice today is my Maybelline Superstay Vinyl Ink lipstick. This is in the shade Captivated, and we're gonna use this. This is a really nice nude. I love the smell of this as well. All right, and then last but not least is a setting spray. So I'm gonna be using the e.l.f. Stay All Night Blue Light Micro Setting Mist to lock this in place. And I love this because it is considered a long-lasting setting spray. So if you're someone who likes to wear your makeup for a long period of time, or know that you're going to be wearing your makeup for a long period of time, this is just going to lock your makeup in place. All right, sis, so this is the finishing look. So we created a really flawless makeup look without using foundation, and we didn't use a lot of cream products as well. So if you're someone who suffers with oily skin, this is literally the makeup look for you. So we're using minimal liquid and cream products, so a lot of powder products to create this look. And as you can see, we still created a really flawless look. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you are new to my channel and haven't subscribed, sis, what are you waiting for? Make sure you're subscribed, hit the bell so that you're notified each time I upload. I do upload every Sunday at 1 p.m. So if you haven't, please be sure to do that. All products and brushes that I use are listed in the description box below. And if you haven't checked out my most recent video, I did do a makeup tutorial, just a basic beginner's makeup tutorial. So if you're someone who finds yourself struggling with makeup and just wants the ins and outs of some of the best makeup techniques to create a really flawless makeup look, check out this video right here. I'll leave it on the screen for you to check out right after this video. So that is about it. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.